Okay, wonderful. So I would like to warmly welcome all of you here today to this launch meeting for the Blue Lotus Network, a new community for spiritual entrepreneurs. It's 5D, it's sacred commerce, and our intention is really to be creating a hub spot where spiritual entrepreneurs can be connecting in growing community and not acting just on their own as they are building their businesses and doing their important work in the world. So we are super excited about launching the Blue Lotus Network today. And we are so delighted that you all are going to be part of this special moment, this inception moment for this community. So my name is Andrea Wynn, and I will be facilitating our meeting today. And I'm also going to introduce Eden, but before that, I would like to invite all of you to turn off any distractions in your environment. So it could be putting your phone on silent, could be closing any extra windows that you have open on your computer, just to give yourself a really clear cognitive and spiritual space for being part of the work that we'll be doing together today. And also would love to invite you to say hello in the chat and to share where you're tuning in from. We always love seeing, where we're spread out across this globe as we're coming together for doing community work like this. So inviting you to share a hello and where you're tuning in from in the chat. Okay. Warm welcome, Giselle. And warm welcome, Reese, from our West Coast in North America. And Giselle is in the middle of our continent of North America. And Marlene, we know you are in the same fair province that Eden and I are in New Brunswick. Hello. Francesca, from Hartsford in the UK. Hello, Francesca. It's so nice that you could join us today. Auspicious. And Stella, physically Bulgaria. Okay, wow, okay. And so spiritually at a much higher dimension where my inner child is cheering you all. Okay. You always bring such a special energy, Stella. Thank you so much. And a smile to everyone's face as we are beginning. Leah. So, okay, Leah, you're tuning in also from Ottawa, Ontario. So we've got a couple of Ontarians with us today. So warm welcome, because I lived in Ontario for 19 years. So it feels like it was a second home for quite some time. So warm welcome to all of you here today. So as you know, what I do is I'm a spiritual business coach, and I have training both in conventional 3D business and also training in 5D business, specifically in the form of sacred commerce. And so I am going to be talking a bit about sacred commerce in a little bit, just because I think it's really important for us to talk about these alternative models to 3D business. And we would really want for this to be part of this community, for us to be creating business from a heart-based, enlightened place around being spiritual beings and connecting with others and their spiritual beings. So we are going to be doing a bit of education around sacred commerce, formal, but I think that all of you probably have some internal sense about sacred commerce as well, even without any formal training in it. So Eden is here with us today. So Eden is my life and business partner, and she is acting as merchant priestess. And so what she will be offering is working with the energy of the group, of this initiative that includes people who are on replay. And so just to give a little bit about her background, she is certified in crystalline soul healing, which is a Lyran form of soul healing. She's certified as a Pleiadian soul healer. She is certified in angel healing, and she also works closely with Saint Germain in alchemy and energy clearing with the violet flame. So she is bringing in that energetic support for each of us, as well as the initiative of launching the Blue Lotus Network today. She will not work with your energy unless you give her permission, though. So if you would like to give Eden permission to do work with your energy today, and also specifically, she told me that she will be running a Lyran crystalline soul healing template to help you be in a grounded, safe, clear, and aligned place for this community work. So if you would like for her to work with your energy today, you can either internally say, I give Eden permission, or you can post it into the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Eden. Okay, and so again, this includes people on replay. If you would like Eden to, she can encode it into the replay. If you'd like for her to work with your energy on the replay, you can also give her permission. So just to give a little bit of an overview, I'm going to be giving an introduction about this whole initiative and what it is about. We're going to have a couple of breakout rooms today, and that's going to be an opportunity for you to dive in more deeply and be able to really explore your thoughts, your feelings around this community initiative. And so I will now proceed with giving a little bit of an introduction about what this is all about. So first of all, just to introduce my background image, this is the image that Eden and I, we created together. Eden found the original artwork, the original Egyptian artwork. I found the Blue Lotus that then we placed onto the front. And so this is the image that we are using for launching the Blue Lotus Network community, because it does have roots in sacred commerce, which is an ancient Egyptian form of doing business, and the Blue Lotus. So this has been in inception phase for about the last 6 months. Somebody from our community came forward with the idea of how helpful it would be to have a community space for spiritual entrepreneurs about 6 months ago. So Eden and I, we have been talking and working with this on, all kinds of different spiritual levels for the last 6 months. And one aspect of that is that we know that we needed to call in like a spiritual team for this initiative. So Eden, she has a large collection of oracle cards. And so she went and she pulled oracle cards for guiding us in establishing this new community. And so we've had this altar with these cards and with a central clear quartz crystal. And I take time in front of that altar just to be with it. And I one day I was really drawn to one of the cards, and I'll just show it here. It's the Blue Lotus. Oh, the Blue Lotus. And as well, of note, another one of the cards is Green Tara, and she also had a Blue Lotus on her card. So there was this appearance of the Blue Lotus twice, and it was just speaking so loudly to me. I was like, hey, Eden, what if we call this community Blue Lotus Network? And she was like, yeah, that sounds great. We really, it was like totally lit us up, the idea of calling this the Blue Lotus Network. So that is where the name came from, just my meditating in front of this altar that Eden had set up for forming this community. And so the sacred commerce part. So I have been studying, I initially started studying and actually working in I had the fortune of working in a one-on-one relationship for a year with Ayman Sawaf, he and his wife, Rowan Gabriel, are the people who brought sacred commerce to the people of our time. They were channeling this information from the ancient Egyptian practice of sacred commerce. And so He is now passed on, but he was a very, like, just a genius level, creative, colorful figure. And it was amazing to get to study closely with him for a year about sacred commerce and emotional alchemy. So a big part of sacred commerce is being able to work with energy. So that means working with our own energy, being able to clear our own energy so that we are in a clear and aligned place, so that we're able to generously offer service to others. But it also is working with the energy and relationships with others. I'm sure that all of you have had the experience of, trying to reach out and connect with your ideal customer, but it's like there's nothing coming back. Or, weird things are happening when you're trying to speak with somebody about what you have to offer them. And so part of what's happening there is the energy around the conversation. Are you, and is the person you're talking with, are you in a calm, safe, grounded place where they can be open to honestly listening to what you have to offer, where they are feeling like they can share what their trouble is and what you might be able to help them with? And also, are you feeling safe and grounded so that in without attachment place, you're able to share what you see that you could do to help that person, in a way that really respects their boundaries so that they're able to energetically receive and actually be able to think about what it is that you have to offer. So these are the energetics, our personal energetics, and also the energetics of being able to connect with other people. And so in ancient Egypt, they had what was known as the merchant priesthood, where there would be merchant priests and merchant priestesses. They would do spiritual practices together and be developing, a common vision of service to their world. The priests, they would go out into the world to encounter people, to have these conversations with people. And the whole point was to be able to help lift people out of a survival mode where they're just coping into a place where they're more thriving and they can encounter themselves as spiritual beings and actually work on their spiritual development. And I think we all are so familiar with those different modes of when you're in survival mode and you just don't have space to work on yourself as a spiritual being, versus when things are more settled, calm, supported, and you can develop yourself as a spiritual being. So the merchant priests would go out and they would barter with people with things like sacred herbs, things that might help people to shift and more connect in with themselves spiritually. Who knows, maybe even crystals. I don't know if they had crystals at that time, but that's the sort of thing that they would then be going out, bartering with people, having conversations, learning what was happening with people. And so, again, it would be so important that there was good energy around these meetings, these conversations. And so that's the role that the merchant priestesses would do, is that they would work with the energy around their work out in the world, the energy around the merchant priests, creating that energetic space of safety and understanding, being able to understand one another and having good conversations about what might be possible for helping people through what the merchant priesthood was offering. So I'm just going to take a little look at my notes and see if I have missed anything important. Well, I don't want to overload you with too much education about sacred commerce, but the last thing that I'll mention is about that it really is about bringing the sacred feminine, the divine feminine, back into business. It is very much about bringing it back into business. And it is about connecting with your inner commerce. Now, your inner commerce is your sense of well-being. It is your gifts. It is what you develop within yourself. And so if we become too outward focused, it's like, oh, I need to, be appearing this way. I need to be, selling in this way. I need to be doing this because this marketing person says I need to do that. I need to post 10 times on social media every week. Like all of these external measurements, there's so much in our world that causes us to be externally focused. I need to do this to keep up. And sacred commerce is about bringing that focus back into investing within, developing your inner commerce, which is your sense of well-being, your gifts, and also your skills for being able to connect with others. So it is about investing in yourself, that filling up your own cup so that that can then flow out to others. So that is all that I'm going to say at this point about sacred commerce. And I saw some nodding and some smiles at times. So I'm imagining that there are some elements, at least, of sacred commerce that may be resonating for you as a spiritual entrepreneur. And this is what we're wanting to develop in this community, is creating this new paradigm for doing business. So Eden and I, we practice sacred commerce. I do the priest work. She does the priestess work. And you see how we've been developing and modifying this to work in our modern day world. We do this in Zoom meetings. And so this is just giving you an idea of what can be possible for bringing sacred commerce into our modern day world. And we focus our work on empowering spiritual entrepreneurs. This is very meaningful for us because we know every spiritual entrepreneur that we empower is then touching many people through bringing their gifts and helping people, uplifting people, and in our time, helping people through the ascension, which is, such a challenging, ambitious project that we have taken on. So given the work that Eden and I do, it just made sense to be creating community to support spiritual entrepreneurs. And as we all know, but it just feels so good to say it, that we are stronger in community. We are stronger together. So that is what we want to empower our community to be able to do, to be stronger and to be able to bring more of who they are through their business. And we have a working vision for the community to be like a Blue Lotus, establishing a space for powerful 5D business rooting and development, moving away from this dangling roots model of just moving quickly without those roots to a deeply grounded 5D business thriving with deep blue hearts blazing. This community's energy and vibration will magnify through every member, creating greater stability and freedom to let go of old structures in the ascension. And my last note about this introduction for this community is that Eden and I also understand how important it is that we take responsibility for making sure that this is doable for us to be holding space and to be facilitating this community. So we are definitely going to be taking into account all of the needs that you've shared, that you'll be sharing in this meeting, and also that many of you have shared through the community survey, and also looking for it to be a doable workload for us. So, because we want to be in here for the long term with you. So at this point, I would like to turn our attention to this moment and how exciting it is to be founding a community together, to be part of creating something that is very meaningful and helpful to spiritual entrepreneurs. I invite you to engage this meeting with joy, with hope, bringing our hearts together in a good way for creating something that is deeply aligned. We will be having 2 breakout sessions today as the meat of this meeting. This is a chance for each of you to be able to go more deeply, to be heard deeply, to hear others deeply, to access your thoughts and your needs for spiritual business community. The breakout sessions will allow you to be fully heard and to bring out all that is important to you around this new community. We decided to keep the breakout rooms small. So there's going to be 3 people in a breakout room. And I see that the number of people here makes it so we will have a perfect number of 3-person breakout rooms. And you'll have that space to share. You will be with the same people in both breakout rooms. I know that this is unusual, but this is a different kind of meeting. And the reason we're doing that is so that you can build on the knowledge of the first breakout room into the second one. The first one is going to be talking circle style. So it's going to be right brain, fluid, and just really give you a chance to sort of, get your juices flowing around this. And then the second breakout room is going to be more logistical. We'll be asking you to choose a note taker who will type out notes on the specific ideas around this new community that each person in the group is bringing forward. And then that person will be sharing their notes, their typed notes in the chat after that. And so then we'll have that documented, and Eden and I can be bringing that into our forming some structure for ongoing meetings. So I am going to pause the recording at this point, completing of the meeting. So just wanted to just illuminate next steps. Eden and I will be looking at all the input that you have provided from this meeting, as well as from the surveys that have come in. So far, I think 13 people have responded to the survey. And we are going to meet as many of your needs as we can, as also forming a plan that's going to be a doable workload for Eden and myself. And so what we are looking at is organizing monthly meetings, except for months when we're offering some other large community activity, such as a masterclass. But that's what we are looking to do. And so we are giving a free masterclass in June. So we would be looking to organize our first regular meeting of the Blue Lotus Network for July. So those are the next steps for this community development. We always welcome hearing from you about Blue Lotus. And so I would now like to shift into inviting all of you to the upcoming masterclass that we are giving in June. It is free. It's called Activate Your Spiritual Business. And it's going to be 3 brief sessions, 3 45-minute sessions, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the week after next, where we're going to be sharing 3 essential keys for running a high vibe, successful spiritual business, for developing clearer focus, for moving forward. And there will be daily Lyran crystalline soul healing to assist your business activation. You can probably guess who will be doing the soul healing. And so this is something that can be powerful. People have done this masterclass more than once because you can up-level the activation of your business. And so I did ask a former participant in the masterclass, who I knew was coming to this meeting, to say just a couple of words about her experience of this masterclass. And again, it is free. So Stella, I would like to invite you to come on and to share about the Activate Your Spiritual Business class. So Activate Your Spiritual Business Masterclass.
Proud to be one of the alumni, however the name is. When you started today's conversation and you introduced the Blue Lotus, I was reminded of the Blue Rose, which is a symbol of Lemuria. And the Blue Rose, the way that I kind of discovered it, it's an invitation to connect with your divine feminine and your inner child as it unfolds slowly. But if you think about the Blue Rose, it grows within thorns so that when it gets attacked, the thorns can protect her. But the Blue Lotus actually grows in the mud. And we are those blue lotuses that have been awakened, that are shining within the mud, that are breaking through that mud. And there's a lot of mud around us that we need to go through to awaken other blue lotuses that are on the same mission as us. And there is a quote that you mentioned when you started that masterclass that I put down in one of my notes. We develop courage by allowing ourselves to dream of doing something new and big. And launching my business has been that for me, and I'm sure for most of you. And being part of your masterclass allowed me to have that confirmation from the universe, as you being a messenger of the universe, that I'm on the right path. And I might be allowing myself to dream bigger than maybe I can handle it on some days. But it's precisely because I have people in my life like you and souls like you on this call that I continue to bloom and blossom and shine. And we all need a coach on our journey. And we need many coaches as we learn how to be coaches within our own lives and within our own community. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us and encouraging us to reconnect with our Egyptian roots, perhaps with the sacred commerce, because I think there's a lot of value. And we are the way showers in some ways, because of messengers like you that are raising us as the messengers.
Thank you so much, Stella. And I could see that people were resonating with what you were saying as I saw heads nodding. So thank you for, providing, being a way shower yourself about the benefit of this free masterclass. Eden and I, we put so much into it, and there is so much there. And so I really love for people to know what is there for them, and it is even offered freely. So I did just I'll put the link in the chat for anybody that hasn't already registered. And just wanted to note that this is the last time that we will be offering this masterclass this year. So if you're interested, I encourage you to find some ways of making it happen to be able to come out for this. So with all kinds of divine intervention, we are actually coming up to the hour. I, again, really from my heart, thank all of you for coming out today and for bringing your hearts together in such a beautiful way. I love the way that Stella just spoke about the blue rose and the blue lotus, bringing that, beautiful divine feminine energy into, into this group, but together we're bringing it into being in the world through this new community. So thank you from both of our hearts for coming out today. I'll send a follow-up email that has the replay, as well as the invitation for coming out for our spectacular free masterclass next month. We would definitely love to connect with all of you in whatever way is feeling right for you. So wishing you a beautiful rest of the day. Giselle, you're so welcome, and thank you. I'm so glad that you're happy to be part of this. And yes, you're very welcome for our doing this. It's coming from a place of love. All right. Many blessings, everyone, and we will see you soon.
Blessings. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.